Hi again, everyone. I am coming today to you with a new video on my to be read list for December. Now, you may notice the hair. If you watched my earlier video about my hair color, I decided that beginning today, December 7th, 2016, was going to be the beginning of some changes that I wanted to make in my life. And I've been through a rough patch, my family and I have been, and I kind of wanted to just start taking a little bit better care of me. And that starts with feeling better, feeling like I look a little better. So I got tired of the gray and the drab hair, so I colored it. I just rinsed it all off, and while I'm doing my TBR video, I thought I'd let it dry and then finish it off with the hair dryer to do my reveal of the after on the video. So you're gonna get a little bit of a sneak peek. I think it turned out pretty good. This looks a little light up here on top, but okay, sorry about that. Little man came in the door. What I was saying, this looks a little bit light up here. This is where I was mostly gray and where it's thin up here. I'm probably not going to do anything with this just yet. I may go get my hair cut and then have somebody do it again, or a root touch-up thing or something. So I'm not too worried about that. It's always a little bit lighter around my face anyway because that's where I'm graying. That's what happens when you get old. So while this is drying, I'm going to do my TBR. And it's going to be kind of a weird TBR. I know I'm not going to read all of these books, but, well, you'll just see. So let me get the camera. I'm not going to have you focus on me the whole time because of the hair. So let me turn you around so you can see the books. Okay, see what I mean? No, I'm not going to get through all those books. Not in December anyway. But let me go ahead and start with this first one. This one I've actually already finished. I started it in November and I finished it actually last night. Wolf by Wolf. And it is an alternative history novel. It's a YA novel. And I heard about this from another booktuber, and actually a couple, but I thought the premise sounded really interesting, and so I decided to give it a shot. It's about a teenage girl who was in a death camp in Nazi Germany, and she was experimented on, and she becomes actually like a shapeshifter. She can change everything to turn into another girl. Maybe later on she'll be able to turn into men or an animal, but just from what I've read in this book, she just turns into another girl. And the Axis powers have won the war, and to celebrate their victory, every year they have a motorcycle race across the continents of Europe and Asia, and the winner gets an audience with Hitler, and so her job is to win the race and kill Hitler. So she's a member of the resistance. She's a member of the resistance and has been since she was since she escaped from the death camp. So I really enjoyed reading this about the second half of the book. The first half of the book, I was really not interested in the race. It didn't. Motorcycle races are not my thing. I was more interested in reading about the life that she had prior to this, and the history of the stuff that was true, the death camps and the horrible things that happened. It didn't go into a lot of detail on that because this is it's young adult and it deals with some pretty heavy things, but it's not something like Schindler's List or anything. But the second half of the book really started becoming a little more interesting, and I enjoyed it by the end of the book. There's a sequel that I've put on hold at the library. I don't know if I'm going to... slid down again. I don't know if I'm going to get it anytime soon or read it, but if I get it and then decide not to read it, I'll just turn it back in and check it out at another time. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't something that I really need to finish. So I know this is a TBR, but this is a wrap-up too on this particular book. So the next couple of books, let me find them. Here they are. This is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and The Sandcastle Girls by Chris Bohelian. I hope I'm not butchering that. These two books were the November choices for two of the Goodreads book clubs that I'm a member of, and we did some of us in the club that chose this book didn't finish it. November was a crazy month for seemingly everyone, so we decided. Or the moderators decided, and I was like, yay, decided to just kind of keep reading this and not choose a new book for December, and I'm glad about that because I'd like to finish this. And this one I never started on. I'm going to put these into a couple of piles as I'm sorting these, and there'll be things that I'm definitely going to read, things that I would really, really like to read, and some that I'm thinking that I might just return. All of these are library books except for one. I might return these and check them out at another time later when it's not a crazy month like December. Sorry, Teddy, I just kicked him in the nose. He's underneath my chair. Good thing I'm barefoot and not with my shoe. So I'm going to put these here. These are the maybes that I might get to. I also in November began reading the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I started out reading the prequel book to this one. This is book number 1 in the series, but the prequel is called The Assassin's Blade, and it's a collection of 4 novellas that give a little bit of the main character's history prior to the start of the series. So, I really need to get something here, don't I? Hopefully for Christmas I'm going to get a tripod for my phone so I can, you know, make better videos. But I'd like to get to this month, but I have plenty of time after the first of the year. So this is not a necessity. This is something that I would really like to get to. So I'm going to put this in this stack. In fact, I think I've already changed my mind a little bit. This is going to be would really, really like to get to this. Probably not. I can always come back to this later and read that. The second book club that I'm in did choose a December book, and we get a choice of 2 books, and I decided on A Christmas Story by Jean Shepherd. This is one of my favorite movies, as is everybody's, and so it's really short. It's let's see, how many pages? 131 pages. So yeah, 131. So I can probably read that in one night. But I did want to at least read something Christmassy, and I've never read the book. I always wanted to. I love the movie, and I'm excited to read this. So that's going to go, I'm going to put that over here with Wolf by Wolf, because I know that I'm going to get to this, and I know that I'm going to get to Wolf by Wolf because I've already done it. So that's going to go in the definite pile. Then this is my book. Sorry, Teddy, I keep kicking him in the face. Poor little baby. This is my book. I own this one. It's A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I haven't read this in a while. So I thought while I was in a Christmassy mood that I would read this. I might even enjoy reading this to the kids. I think they would enjoy that. Maybe even have Ron sit down with us, and over the course of a few nights before Christmas, maybe do a family read. So I'm going to put that in the definite pile because I know I'm going to get to that. And it's also short. It's a little shy. No, it's a little more. A little more than 200 pages, like 218, 219. So you can see how old this book is. I think I had this when I was in high school. So yeah, it was a high school book. Do you hear a little bit over there? She's so silly. She's a silly girl. She's lying on her bed. There she is. She had a really, really bad case of fleas, and we had to shave her completely because I only found like 5 or 6 fleas on her, but her skin is so sensitive that she was just really miserable, and she still wants to tell me about it. Don't you, little one? And she brought some food over to the rug, so she's not happy. We put her in here in front of the heater so that she can stay warm, because with all that hair gone, she's freezing, and she just looks pitiful. How pretty. You my girl. Okay. Sorry. I get distracted very easily. I have ADHD and I'm a perfectionist, so that's a really bad combination. Okay. Now continuing with my TBR. As I said in the previous video, my November wrap-up, I've become addicted to Harry Potter. And the next book in the series is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I had been reading the book and then watching the movie. But we checked out from the library the movie of this, and I went ahead and watched it with the kids. They wanted to watch it, so I went ahead and watched it even though I had not read this. So I'm anxious to see how I like it, because I've been reading everything first and then watching the movie. So on this particular one, doing it in reverse, I'm anxious to see how I fare with that, how much I enjoy it. So I would really, really like to get to this book, but as you can see, it's a monster. I had anticipated possibly adding it to the Tome Topple challenge back at the end of November, but I didn't. And it's 870 pages, so I don't know, I might get to this, or at least get it started, but since it is a library book, I might have to turn it back in before I get to it, and that would be okay. And then now I'm going to get to some that I just kind of picked up, put on hold actually on a whim, and then they came in along the time the Tome Topple challenge was going on, and I just kind of got a little ahead of myself, and I thought, there is no way I'm going to get to all of these books in December. But I'm going to talk about them a little bit anyway. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I don't know a lot about this book. I got it a few weeks ago, and I have not read it yet. I got it right before Thanksgiving, and I just didn't pick it up. So we'll see. It's something that I would like to read. I've heard it's really, really good, and I love the cover. I think that's really cool the way they did that. So, but I am going to put this one in the maybe later pile. The same thing with this. I'll get to those last two in a moment. The Lady of the Rivers by Philippa Gregory. I would really, really like to start reading Philippa Gregory. And this is the first book chronologically of the, oh my goodness, what's that series called? I can't think of it. The Tudor court novels, I believe. It's the first book, even though I believe it was written after some of the other books. I'll have to look at the order, but this is the one that it said to on Goodreads to check out or to read first. So, but I may put this off. I'm definitely going to put that off till later. I would not really want to start a big, huge series right now at the end of the year anyway. These last two books I just checked out today. I got the notice last night that they were in at the library, so I picked them up. The first one is Three Dark Crowns by Kendar, I think that's her name, Kendar Blake. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm really interested in this premise. It's three sisters. This world has has a queen, is ruled by a queen, and every generation triplets are born and to the queen, and then as they grow up, they each have different powers, and they have to kill the other two. One has to kill the other two to become queen. So it just sounds really kind of interesting, and I've heard some really good things about it. I'm going to put this one, if there's maybe something in between, because I'm finding that I really would like to try to get to this, but I just, with these others, I just don't think I'm going to. But if it came to one of these and this one, I would probably pick this one up first. And the same thing with the last one. It's The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I really don't know a lot about this, but this is by Michelle Hodkin. I don't know really a lot about this at all, so I'm anxious to find out the story about this, and I think it's a trilogy. So I'm probably going to put this one in the third category too, that I would pick up one of these before I picked up these. So that's my TBR for December. Am I going to get to every one of these? Absolutely not. Am I going to get to every one of these? Probably. Especially since I'm done with that one. I know I can do these two easily. And like I said, this I think would be fun to read as a family. Little man and I watched Scrooged on TV 2 nights ago, and that was the first time that he had really heard this story. So I think he would, after having seen that movie, I think he might enjoy hearing the original. And then these, if I don't get to these, that's okay. I'll probably pick up Harry Potter before these others. But like I said, I've become addicted to Harry Potter. So that's kind of my plan. The only other thing that I might do is I have a copy somewhere in the house of the Christmas box, and if I find that, I may squeeze that in as well. But I just really want to make sure I get to these two, and maybe some of this, and just enjoy the month and not put any pressure on myself to finish anything in particular, and then maybe have a good solid TBR for January. So thank you so much for watching. If you've read any of these books and you'd like to comment on them, please do so. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thank you so much for watching. Fly high, Pooh Bear.